Hi, welcome to another video on my channel. Today we're doing something different and I'm going to do a get ready with me style of video while I talk to you about questions I've gotten about becoming a real estate agent and what it's like and what to expect and things like that. So I'm going to just preface this by saying that I am in no way a beauty guru. I am using probably the wrong technique for everything. I just like to put on my makeup and get going, and the whole reason that I wear makeup is just because I'm so Irish and British that I'm see-through, so I tend to wear makeup. So let's get started. I'm going to get started by putting on some primer, which is from, the one I use is from Abnormal Beauty Company, The Ordinary, whatever, the Abnormal Beauty Company, The Ordinary. Anyway, you can get this online and I buy it. They ship it from Canada, but it's really good. But it's a silicone primer, so if you have oily skin, don't use this. That's what I was told, not to use it if you have oily skin. So let's talk about questions about becoming a realtor. First of all, you have to take classes and a test, a couple tests. State and national test. So it is important that you have the drive to study and to prepare yourself for those tests. There will be questions on there that you'll probably never have to worry about again. A lot of us don't have to know how to figure out acreage on a farm and things like that. Some of us do. So just make sure that you are studying everything that you need to be studying for that type of thing. Next I'm going to do is put on my foundation, which is Infallible 24-Hour Wear, which I got the idea to purchase from Tati Westbrook in her YouTube channel, where she puts on makeup and looks like an absolute doll, and meanwhile, I do not. So anyway, after you take the test, you need to pick a brokerage, and I would say that you would want to at least talk to 2 or 3 different brokerages. Don't just go to one brokerage and think you're going to get the full story. I talked to 3 beforehand. And the reason that I chose Keller Williams was because I just thought that there was more of a sense of community, family. People weren't out. I didn't get the feeling that people were out to do better than everybody else. It was just more of a sense of just making sure that everybody was okay. And the other thing I like about them is that they do have a profit share, and the profit share is basically the market center owners giving away part of their proceeds every month to those who have brought in other agents and sold deals. So it's not like a MLM where you sign up 500,000 people and then they get a portion of your proceeds. It's actually coming from the market center and the people that manage the market center. Hold on, I'm looking in another mirror because sometimes you look up here and it's crazy. Okay, so then let's talk about, once you get your license, you've taken your test, you've talked to 3 brokerages, you picked one. You have a couple options. You can either become a solo agent, and that means by that you're on your own. You finding your own deals, you are advocating for yourself, you are speaking to everybody about becoming an agent, and you're not working with anybody. The advantage of doing that is that you're autonomous because you have to be an entrepreneur. You're running a business. Real estate is not something that is just like, it should be taken as a hobby. It's a real job. So you have to actually be prepared to do that job. So if you are on a team, let's say that you decide that you're going to be on a team. You're on a team and there is a rainmaker, and that rainmaker is the person that brings you deals, and then you are basically working for that rainmaker with their clients to show them properties and to list properties and to be their representative as the deals flow through. Now, the advantage of this is that you don't have to spend money on marketing. You're not marketing yourself. You're just working with the person that's bringing you leads. And so you could get paid a little bit faster. The disadvantage to that is that you are not working for yourself, you're working for somebody else, and you don't know what type of leads you're going to be getting or what type of people you're going to be working with. And also, you don't know that you can't set your own hours, because if they need you on XYZ time and XYZ time, you got to be there for their people. So, and also, you can't market yourself. So if you like working for other people and you're not really interested in making a name for yourself, that is it's a great way to go. The concealer I just used was Shape Tape by Tarte, and it is in the thing Fair, because again, fair. It's funny how your face looks so different on a monitor than it does in real life, so just keep that in mind. I'm not as white as I appear to be, apparently. Okay, so then you've picked you're now at the state where you've decided that you're either going to be a team or you're going to be a solo agent. You have to worry about what you're spending. So there's a great book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, MREA. It's written by Gary Keller, and it talks about basically how you have to spend your money wisely so that you make money. So don't go out and buy 400 tons of Zillow leads, which you shouldn't be buying anything from Zillow anyway, but don't buy like a bunch of Zillow leads. Don't lead with, don't buy like 400 t-shirts with your name on it. Don't buy 400 signs and 50 lock boxes. You know what you need to do? You just start out small. A lock box, do some rentals, make some money from rentals, and then buy yourself a sign. A lot of people are afraid to have rentals, but really if you have a rental, then then you get to learn the paperwork, the process, how to deal with people, because you've got to have a really thick skin. And that's one thing I will tell you straightforward. You have to have a thick skin. Not everybody's going to use you. Not everybody's going to want to use you. And people don't owe you a thing, even if it's your own mother. They don't owe you a thing. So you're in this business, you've got to find your own business, and you've got to prove your worth to everyone. And that includes family members. So just remember that you've got to lead with revenue, and you've got to make sure that you're not spending a bunch of money on stuff that you don't need. Just ridiculous. I see so many new agents and they buy like they'll lease a new fancy car thinking that they're supposed to, because it gives an image that they're successful. I drive a regular car, and I've never ever had somebody say to me that they weren't going to use me because my car was just a regular car. The bronzer I used was Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Smells amazing. Also recommended by Tati Westbrook. So you could tell I watch her YouTube channel a lot. So now you've got a lockbox sign, you've done some rentals, you're familiar with the paperwork, you've got a mentor that you can talk to at the office. Always make sure that you can find somebody. I always try to welcome new people into our office and say if they need anything, I am here to help them. I definitely remember the fire hose effect, especially at Keller Williams, where they're just like, here's a ton of training. Make sure that you go to some of this training and really pay attention to what's going on so that you can be a really great successful start to your real estate career. And I just was like, whoa, it was just so much at one time. So I always try to tell people to just get into it, start waiting, then start to swim. Don't spend a ton of money. You don't need to. Just get your name, get your business cards, get your name tag, and talk about how you're a realtor to everyone. Post it on Facebook, post it on Instagram, post it on Twitter, wherever, Snapchat, wherever you are. Make sure that you're constantly telling people that you are a realtor, because if you don't, people do forget. And I have heard that, my feeling is, I have heard that many times, like, oh, I forgot you did real estate. It's like, I can refer real estate to anybody in the world right now. Anyone in the world. And yet I'll still have people say, oh, I forgot you're a realtor. And I'm like, I post it all the time. How can you forget that I'm a realtor? But they do. So don't get yourself a professional Facebook page, a professional Instagram page, and those type of things. Don't be bombarding your regular page with your real estate stuff, because you will alienate your friends and they will not use you for sure then. The blush I just used was Soap and Glory Love It First blush, which it has a shimmer in it. It's kind of cool. I don't know if you can get this anymore. I'm sure it's past the 24-month period of opening. That's one thing. I was just like, I watch my money and I don't have billions of dollars to spend on new makeup constantly. So you've gotten your first buyer client, which is fantastic. You're going to do a great deal of a great deal with them, and you're going to get them into the house of their dreams. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask them, you know, specific questions about what they're looking for. If you don't ask them the questions about what they're looking for, oh, that looks awful, then you probably are not going to find them what they need. So make sure you're asking them a lot of questions. You're taking advantage of everybody that you can at work who's helping you out. After you've got your buyers, you just have to remember that you have to babysit buyers just like you would babysit anybody, any other type of thing in a customer service aspect. Your customer service, you're related, you're their fiduciary, you're watching out for them. You have got to make sure that everything that is supposed to happen happens. And that goes again back to getting help from your market center and asking them for help. If there's not a physical market center space that you can go to, you should have somebody that you can talk to online or somebody that you could talk to on the phone just to go through information. So remember, people don't owe you anything. You got to pass the test, and so this is a serious business. You got to pass the test. You've got to make sure that you don't overspend the first, you know, paycheck you get. Your first paycheck may be $800, which may be great for you. But if you're a mom of 4 kids and you're a single mom, an $800 paycheck is not going to float it. So you may need to find other ways to create income, or you're joining a team and hoping that you can get paid within 45 days. That's another thing that I was going to mention. You don't get paid right away. So if you get somebody under contract, closing is like, what, 45 days, 30 to 45 days, you may not get a paycheck for 55 to 60 days, depending on the deal and your brokerage. Do not panic. Budget your money wisely, and make sure you have a business checking account and a good accountant that will help you out. You need to make sure you track everything you spend, your mileage, your things that you do with your car, everything just needs to be tracked so that at the beginning of the year, you can hand it all to an accountant and they can do their magic and make sure that you get the return that you're supposed to get, if any, okay? So if you had any questions about selling a house or anything, again, you should be able to speak to your broker or somebody in your office that will be able to help you. If you don't have that type of help, there's several Facebook groups that you could join that would help you out. I personally would tell you that if you don't have anybody in your office that's going to help you out, you're probably not in the right office. This setting powder I just used was Extraordinary by Ciate London. It's just what I put underneath my eyes. If you don't have anybody in your office to help you out, you definitely need to maybe think about getting a new office. I'm going to be putting on my eyeliner now. Let's see if I can do it in a different mirror because this is really bad. Let's see if we can do it here. You ever try to do a cat's eye? I always have this joke where I try to do a cat's eye eyeliner and you can never do it. Anyway, so, yeah, you can barely see it. Anyway, so you want to make sure that you have the help at your disposal that you need. Please don't be afraid to ask for help. Please do seek out the resources on Facebook groups. They're great. I mean, there's a lot of people on Facebook groups that, you know, there's a lot of Facebook groups I would recommend over others, like real estate moms or moms of real estate or whatever that they're called. Just look those up, or just, you know, lab agents, something like that. You want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who understand you and what you're doing. And if you don't do that, you're going to have more problems than you really, really want. I'm just going to tell you that from experience. Get with the good people. The pen I just used was Tartist. See, this is the thing that kills me about these. This is for cats flare up, whatever you want to call it. I can never figure that out. But then you got this side, which is really for the water line, which I use for everything. So whatever. Again, I don't use my makeup the right way. Let's see, what else can we talk about real quick? I'm using the Jaclyn Hill palette, not the lipsticks, just FYI. Okay, so you've got your support in your office. You've got people that will help you out. Just make sure that you keep track of everything that you're spending and that you're not overspending. And make sure you keep track of mileage in your car. Make sure you're setting yourself apart. You know, frankly, there's 1,000 different real estate agents and there's probably 5,500 of them just in your neighborhood, right? You just need to make sure that you are showing yourself as the neighborhood expert in whatever neighborhood that you decide to farm. And don't freak out if somebody else is farming that neighborhood, or you've heard that somebody else is a realtor in your neighborhood. In my neighborhood, there are 5 realtors that I know of. There's one with Remax, 2 with Keller Williams, 1 with like a John Green, and then 1 with Century 21. You always want to wish people that are in the same industry as you good luck. And you always want them to do well because it only helps you. When they do well, it helps your industry. So that helps you. So you want them to do well. So don't feel bad if there's somebody else in your subdivision that has decided that they're going to sell real estate. Be glad and help them out when they need help. I mean, this is just common sense. Especially if you're a female and you're in this industry. Don't, you know, you can't make it petty. There's so many people that think that you have to fight for everything, and you don't. You don't have to do any of that. You just don't. I need mascara. Okay. So then I don't know. The only other questions I get is, you know, about open houses and things like that, if people should do open houses. If you're a new agent and you want to do open houses to get your name out there, I am 100% for it. That was Luminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. This is great. I'm 100% for it. Do I love doing open houses? No. Do I think they're necessary at times? Yeah. Depends on the market. Depends on where the house is, what condition it's in. Is it furnished? Is it not furnished? Is it, you know, I never do an open house by myself. There's always somebody there. Don't do one by yourself ever. Always make sure there's somebody there with you. It's just too dangerous. Otherwise, don't do it. I would say that if your client wants to do an open house, go for it. That's a good chance for you to get buyer leads for another open house. I personally do not double dip. I do not handle buyers and sellers on the same transaction. I don't do that because I feel like I'm not going to be able to give my best to both. So I just don't. That's my personal preference. You people can do whatever you want. I'm not going to do that. This lipstick is called DaisyMae, and it's from Colleen Ballinger, and she's a YouTuber that does the character Miranda Sings. She came out with her own line of lipsticks at MirandaSingsLipstick.com. And I have to tell you something, get away from the fact that it's a YouTuber lipstick. This is like the best lipstick because it's creamy and it lasts a long time. And you don't see like a lot of beauty gurus on, you know, talk about it, and they should be, because this is phenomenal lipstick. Don't do open houses by yourself. Do them if you want to do them. Put in your own signs if you want to do that. I put in my own signs. I don't like to be beholden to anybody to come and put a sign in a yard. I want to be able to go to a listing appointment. I want to be able to give them my listing presentation, get a feel for if we can work together, and if so, put a sign in that yard whenever I want to. I don't do it if it's like 8 o'clock at night. If it was the middle of the day, it's a lot easier, obviously. And then you just have to make sure that you're following the codes and covenants of the HOA. So Do open houses if you want to. Make sure there's a mentor wherever you work. Real estate is a really hard but very rewarding job, and it is fun. You meet a lot of really cool people. You have some situations which aren't so cool. That'll be another video and another time. Make sure that you're prepared. Do your due diligence. Study the market. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Tell people you're a realtor. Make sure your socials are all up to date and current. Post things. Don't be afraid to put your foot out and do things. I'm doing videos on YouTube, which maybe nobody will ever see, and that might be embarrassing. But at the same time, if I don't, then I'm going to feel like I missed out on an opportunity to connect with people and possibly gain leads or possibly gain relationships with other people. I have got to do this, and you should too. So if you have any questions about how real estate works, especially with Keller Williams, I am super glad to help you out. Feel free to drop me a note, and I will for sure make sure to get back to you. My socials are all listed below, and make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you at next video. Bye.